Welcome back to another episode of the Bloody Mission podcast. Today, we are sitting down with myself, Callan and Dan to discuss the upcoming Vertical 5K happening in November, and also a huge announcement that we are super excited to share with our community. So sit back, enjoy yourself. Remember to follow, like, and share our content as that really helps with getting the podcast out there.
Well, gentlemen, I'm in the podcast today.
Mitch, the cameraman's in,
sitting in the little control booth. But yeah, just wanted to get
set the control booth up
in there.
That's true. I should have done that
in the sauna.
For those who can't see, Mitch has got his back
Yeah.
to a freestanding sauna. We're gonna have to set you up in there.
Yeah, 100%. Get a good fits on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wanted to have a quick update because there's definitely some big stuff coming. Bloody Mission wise,
Yes, mate.
that we want you to be a part of if you're feeling juicy. But I guess I'll shoot over to you, Cal. Maybe if someone's tuning in and doesn't know anything about what the Vertical 5K is, maybe you can just give a bit of a brief explanation of that.
Yep, 100%. The Vertical 5K challenge is something that we came up with as Bloody Mission. We want to do unique running events. We don't want to do the classic 10Ks or half marathons, and there's nothing wrong with those. We just don't do those sorts of events. We do something a bit different. And so the idea was that it actually started out with park run as an idea.
It's a vertical park.
Yeah, a vertical park run. But instead of the distance being the measure, it's the ascent in meters. And so everyone that runs would have a road run or a trail run that they go and do that has, 5K in distance, but climbs 150 meters in elevation, right? Well, the idea is that it's not about the 5K, it's about the 150 meters. And so last year we did the first Vertical 5K event up at Heaton's Gap, which is, for those who don't know, is a brutal climb, a part of the G&W Trail. And the 15 participants went and took on that challenge to repeat up and down that 16 times, which sounds impossible if you've done it before, right? If you've done it before, you're like, are you joking? Like, that's not possible. Well, we learned last year it is possible. So just over half of the people that did that event last year pulled the pin. But 6 or 7 finished. And so now what we're doing is we're entering a phase of doing it again. We're extending it to 25 personal invites, which is really cool to people that want to take on the challenge. They've got to fundraise $500 for the Leukemia Foundation as an entry. There's no cost outside of raising some money. And we're going to do the physical event on November the 15th this year. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, sick. So, Denos, mate, someone who was there on the day, you would help organising it because Big Calbo's had the runs the whole day. You were stepping in to, make sure that the laps that were being done were counted properly. Callan?
Let it be clear, I was not running. I had the runs.
Yes, he also might have miscalculated some of the participants' laps. But anyway, we're moving on from that. Dan, as someone who was there, what was just a takeaway for you from that event? It was a very novel event. What were some of the things that you take away, you're impressed by?
Oh, there's no shortage of things that were impressive on that day, and the things that people did. And I know you talked about the fact that not everyone completes a Vertical 5K in one day. We set it at I think we had a 12 or 14 hour cutoff for those repeats. And to put it in perspective, that the 5,000 meters vertical elevation it needed to be across about 55 kilometers or thereabouts was what the physical distance ended up being. It was just ridiculous to see people continue to grind up and down that hill, because I think one of the things that people don't realize is that at a point in time, the downs become just as hard, if not harder, than the climbing. And there's almost a point where it switches around where people are looking forward to coming back up because the downs are so punishing. That day last year had everything. It was cold, then it was hot, then it was humid. Then it rained.
It was wild.
We had every element of weather. There's, like we'll talk about the film, no doubt, Mitch. But there were elements where you've got people bagging up ice to wrap around themselves to cool down, followed by a shot where there's this fog and mist that looks like
And
you
a bit
can't
of
see a
rain,
hand,
yeah.
like, you know, 2 feet in front of you. We had 4 seasons in a day up there at Heaton's, which was incredible. This year it's going to be a month later. 15th of November.
I'll guarantee the weather.
It is going to be hot.
Yeah.
But I think key takeaways were the determination and the grit and the drive that saw people continue to do those repeats. Levi Martin, you know, like we Levi features in the film, a good close mate of ours, himself and 2 or 3 others that were quite definitively, I will continue this into the night. If you pack up everything and leave,
I'll still keep going.
I'm still going to keep going because I will get this finished.
And he had only ever done 5 or 6 laps,
and was a vocal protagonist towards the.
He was saying it's not possible.
He's saying it's not possible. It's not possible.
And this is coming from a guy that's done the G&W 100 mile in 22 hours.
Yep.
So someone that knows, right?
Yep.
He's like, that's not possible. Well,
Yep.
fuck you, Levi.
Yeah.
You know, in a nice way, but he did it, right? He achieved it. He
Yep.
beat the cutoff by half an hour.
Yep.
Largely untrained.
Yeah.
Right. So that shows you the grit and the
determination
of that guy.
Yep.
That's one story. You know, there was so
That's
many. You know,
so many, and again, like always, blown away by you know, we talked about a $500 entry fee. We need to raise a base level of $500 as your fee to be able to compete straight to the Leukemia Foundation. These guys across, you know, 15 of our runners, you know, $30,000 out of that group. It was
just under 30,
just under $30,000, which was just incredible. Highlights once again what it's like when people tap into their community and looking to go and suffer for something that's bigger than themselves. But endless takeaways, heaps of stories, you know, plenty just encapsulated perfectly in the film, but incredible day. I can't wait to see it again.
I just want to jump in here. For Dan, it was a thrill, that event. And the reason why it was a thrill is that he bought a car specifically for that event.
You can run with that.
No.
I'm not even sorry.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not even sorry.
Hey, we love the Land Cruiser. That's a bloody belter. But a hell of a day. Yeah, it was good fun, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly was just blown away at the caliber of people we had there.
Yeah.
Firstly, just from the winner, Grant, who has just signed as a bloody mission athlete. So good on you, Grant. But just seeing him approach the run in the exact same way all day.
Metronome.
Yeah.
Didn't vary his pace, didn't vary his gait, just locked in, got it done, had a smile on his face the whole time. Finished it, oh yeah, no worries, all good. All the way through to Levi, Shooter, Lawson, all these guys that like are very admirable dudes in the fitness space. But like you said in the film, Cow, to Shooter, mate, you look like you've suffered like a dog for the last 8 hours.
Honestly, after the second lap, I was like, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
And then, you know, watch the film, but the guy, you want to see grit and determination?
Yep.
Holy shit. That was something to watch, you know. But yeah, 100%.
I do think we need to mention the fact that, you know, there was varying, you know, obviously varying approaches to an event like this. You know, like these are ridiculously powerful athletes that are coming to sign up to come and climb 5,000 meters in one hit within 14 hours on a hill like that.
Yeah.
So shout out to Matt Robbie's sponsor, Bundaberg Rum. So 8 hours in. 8 hours in, Matt said, right, it's rum time, right? So from 3 o'clock in the afternoon on every lap, mate, he smelt like a rum brewery coming up and down that hill by the time we got to sort of lap 13 or thereabouts.
He's not stupid.
He's not stupid.
Coke and rum.
Coke and rum. It was sensational. And the best, you know, one of the best clips that we've got, I reckon, is him with a bottle of water strapped to one side of his leg and a can of rum strapped to the other, which was just epitomised the last 6 repeats or whatever, which was epic.
But it's actually a little bit more than that. That's the community that was there. We go in there to do something hard.
Yeah.
but we're going to have a good time and muck around doing
Yeah.
it. So once people finished or you pulled the pin, people are drinking beers, standing around the fire. Like there was a really good feel and vibe to the day.
Yeah.
While watching these people, do unhumane things up and down that mountain,
Yeah.
hell of a day.
Yeah.
Hell of a day.
Yeah, like I mean, we've alluded to the fact that there's a film, and that's not something we were planning on producing. I mean, both me and Dan went along with our cameras because that's kind of our role in the day for these sort of events. And I mean, even when we finished the day, I wasn't like, oh yeah, there's a film in this.
Yeah.
But as I started to watch back what we got, and then I planned some interviews with each of the boys, just as a bit of a way to either get content for socials or whatever, and I started to really dig into some of the stories of the people we've already mentioned and a whole bunch of others. I felt incredibly blessed to once again be given the opportunity to tell all these amazing stories. With the blood run, the fact that Tara's family opened up to me like they did, that's what made the movie. Like, you did an awesome thing, and the filming of it was strictly average, but it was there.
Whoa.
but the story that they were able to support all of that with was incredible, and they gave that to me to tell, and a similar thing happened with this. And I was talking to Steely last night about the whole process, and that if we didn't get the interview with Shooter at the end, where he kind of says what he says, I don't know that there would have been a movie.
Yeah.
Because his experience is something that I've experienced in my limited trail running experience, and I know you've gone through, and so what a joy it is to be able to put together these films that tell the event, can give people an insight into the event, but also that the people that do them, I guess, trust me enough to tell it or open up. And so last Sunday we actually had an opening night of it at or a showing of the film. And I guess for you, Cal, I'm going to come to you here. What was your impression when you saw the film? What was something that struck you, or was a takeaway for you?
First of all, like, we had it at Hotel Gosford as a little premiere, and really just a little premiere for our community, right? And it was a Sunday night. The football ran late. There was arguably it's one of the greatest games they're calling in history, right? So everyone's fully glued into this, and I'm thinking, well, there's a bit of pressure for Mitch, with the film coming after this. But what I was left with was we packed the place. It was awesome. There was about 80 people fit into this area, and we watched the film. What I was left with is that sometimes you think an idea is stupid and not possible, and then you watch people go and endure these things through the film that are possible, right? And we put on these events, and I'm not saying that there's anything special. We're just doing stuff that we want to do and have a good time doing it. But when I get feedback from people saying that was the best event I've ever been to, like, I'm like, what? And this is from someone that does like 7 or 8 events a year. So like that for me, I took away that we're like helping people experience something different, I guess is where I'm getting to. And I love that I saw people that may not have thought they could achieve something. That was really the takeaway from me.
Yeah.
Dana?
Yeah. I'm still blown away by seeing that story that, we got to experience by watching, these guys and girls climb up and down this mountain and see them supported by their families and their friends and their networks and, the donations and everything that changed throughout the day. I remember some conversations that you and I had, Mitch, where agreed, to your point, we hadn't planned to, we planned to capture some stuff, but we hadn't planned to create a film. I found that it took me a little bit off guard that every time I pulled that camera out and had a conversation with someone, I'm like, oh man, like this stuff is really
juicy,
it's really significantly impacting them as they're achieving it, and as they're working, well, not even achieving at that point, as they're trying to achieve this goal. There were a real visceral sense of how hard it was just poured out of every single person that I spoke to. And that's testament to how difficult it actually was, right? But I found myself thinking early on during that day, man, we've got to capture. I hadn't planned that we needed to capture so much. But I'm so glad that we did because we had people everywhere with cameras. We had Spence on the camera taking stills. We had, the other kids were dragging their phones out. We had portable cameras running around because very quickly we realized this is like something really special is happening here. I love that it was a small group of people, that it was a hand-selected 15, which gave us a really good opportunity to get in and around their story. And I love that now that you've done all the work and pulled that together, that it brings people into that story of the day and it shares it so deeply. And that really hit me when I've watched it a number of times, but when we watched it last week with 80 people, half of them were people that had run. So, Shooter and Jess had come up from Canberra. There was, Nat and Borgo and everybody else that, I can't remember to name them all. We're all there sitting there watching that film. It was just epic to relive and share in that day.
Sick.
Right. Really, really good.
Yeah, and something I probably should have mentioned before with the whole getting to share people's stories is obviously Kish. And the complete honor it was to go and interview this guy who's late 20s, about to marry his partner, doing well in life, got a great job, and boom, you got leukemia. And you met him, Cal, and you said you need to go interview this guy, and so I just took my stuff to Sydney and knocked on this bloke's door, and he opened, and then we proceeded to talk for an hour and a half with a camera in between us. But and I was just blown away by this guy's story, what he'd gone through, what he'd learned, what he was doing himself in fundraising for leukemia.
That's crazy.
And so I kind of feel like I'm fluking it, to be honest, with the stuff that we're putting together. And I will say that there is some nice affirmation coming back that SBS has wanted to pick it up for next year, which is really cool. Just very keen for our wider community to see it. I'm not sure that I think we're going to do a showing in Canberra with the Canberra Cruise community. But it'll be available come January next year on SBS if you're interested in watching. But you said it a little bit before, Cal, but we're doing the event again this year, 2025, and then there's something a little special coming after that. Tell us about that.
We've partnered. So this whole, ever since the blood run started, we've been doing stuff for the Leukemia Foundation, right? And they've been the beneficiary of the money that we raise, right? We're now partnered with those guys, I'm going to say formally, in some way, for us to help them expand their, I'm going to say, physical challenge component of what they do. And so we're stoked to be involved with those guys around raising more awareness and more money. But this year we're going to do a campaign. It's a national campaign called Find Your Mountain. Find Your Mountain is sign up, raise $500, and wherever you are, anywhere around Australia that you find this, so everyone's got a mountain or a street road climb or something, stairs, wherever you are, climb 5,000 meters, raise $500 and find your mountain, right? Now, the difference around the actual event versus what we're doing with Find Your Mountain is you've got 5 days to do it. So you can either do it in one hit, like the crazy dudes do on the 15th of November, or you've got 5 days to execute 5,000 meters of vertical gain. And so this year we're super excited to be taking that as a national campaign, talking to a bunch of run clubs, engaging them in a way that something that we've all talked about as a benefit of what we do is doing something for others while achieving something personally. And we see that this is a really good opportunity for people to raise some cash, raise some awareness for the Leukemia Foundation. For 53 people a day get blood cancer, 17 people a day die from it. It's fucked. So we're going to do our own thing as far as fundraising for those guys, but we're also going to go and do something physical and go out and suffer a bit, right? So we got $500, 5 days, 5,000 meters, and that'll happen from the 26th of November this year. So over those following 5 days, get out, get Mitch. You've signed up. Mitch is doing
I
it.
have signed up. The hill around the place that we live at the moment's about 35 meters in elevation. So I think I have to do that.
It's going to be long.
A billion
I
times.
think I have to do that 160 times or something. But yeah, so no, I'm very excited because I've never actually run in any of our events.
Yeah.
So very excited to do that. Talking about signing up, if you are interested in signing up, at the end of this pod, we'll have a trailer to get you a little bit more juicy for it, but also depends on when you're listening to this and when we're releasing the pod. But if you want to sign up, the safest thing is go to our socials. When it's up and live, you'll see a million links on our socials to be able to sign up for Find Your Mountain. That is the most important space for that. Gentlemen, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Cal, are you signing up to Find Your Mountain, mate?
Look, I'm finding my mountain in the fact that I've got to run the fucking thing.
That's true.
And I'm not talking about running it. I'm talking about thinging it. So I may not do the physical event this year. I have other plans for next year, but my version of that is helping people achieve the thing that they sign up to do. So I won't be running it so much, but I'll be definitely a part of it this year in helping people facilitate it.
Yeah, very cool. Danos, final thoughts, mate?
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see an additional 10 people on that hill.
For the physical event,
physically on the 15th. My main final thought is I'm a bit disappointed that. The timings this year mean that I'm a little bit similar. I'll be running the event in terms of, running, not physically running the event on the 15th. And then at, 5 a.m. the next morning, I've got to drive to Queensland from here for work. For work for a couple of weeks. But I anticipate that where I'm going, I might see some people hitting a Find Your Mountain in and around where I am. And same thing, I'm looking to do as much as I can to support people getting around it for this year, to hit their own 5,000 meters across that 5 days in November. I think it's going to be epic. I can't wait to see what that looks like when we've got 25 people run a physical event on the 15th, and then a week later, I'm going to say we want hundreds of people doing their own version across 5 days. And I think seeing that community come together from afar will be super powerful. I can't wait.
Now, Cal, very quickly, I don't know if you can confirm, but for the record, but there are some people that have signed up for the physical event, which is pretty exciting. Do you want to share about that, or we got the kibosh on that at the moment?
As in, you want to know who they are?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's certainly someone that's pretty prolific that's signed up, or at least last time you told me they were thinking about signing up.
No, we can share the list. Look, this year is really exciting because we've got a real mix of people from the backgrounds and communities that we've dealt with over the last few years, and so we've got some OGs from last year, some people people that are coming back to finish some stuff, which is really cool. We've got some people that have been involved in our story that are from different areas that are getting involved. We've got people that we worked with on the Tassie Trail that are coming to be involved. Hell, there's a chick and her friend that Cords and I met up at the UTA for crewing some of the lads up there that we literally stood by and had a beer and had a bit of a yak and connected with. They're coming down to do it. So there's a range of people, right? I texted Pat Farmer, and Pat Farmer's going to do it, which I'm thrilled to have him involved. I think I fangirl a little bit over Pat with some of the shit that he's achieved, and not so much, certainly the running, because that's incredible, but his heart for others is unmatched in the shit that we do. And so I'm thrilled to have him involved. There's a range of people and people from different backgrounds. We've got a guy coming who's actually beat blood cancer and is going to have a crack at it, which I'm fucking so pumped about. And I think that's cool, right? I think that's the spirit of the stuff that we want to do. And he saw our stuff. I don't know the guy. He saw our stuff. He's like, how do I get involved? I want to be involved. And so anything from our local mates, our local runners, through to people interstate, and then people that have done amazing things in their own right are coming this year. And we just want to keep doing unique things that draw attention for the right reasons for the Leukemia Foundation, but also provide an opportunity for people to do something that they maybe think is not possible for them. right?
Yep.
So it's a combination of things, but thrilled to have. Actually, I've got 3 spots left, and I've got them out to certain people that I'm waiting for feedback on at the moment. But we're pumped, man. We'll definitely have the 25. I'm not worried about that. But this has been a personal invite sort of situation. Not so much opening it up to everyone, although Alicia, who had cancer, sort of reached out separately, which was really cool. So we're going to have a hell of a mix, man. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like, having been there and watched the event and just seen how brutal it was. That's why I love the Find Your Mountain version, which is the national campaign, because I could never do at least in my current form, I could never do the day event. Like, my legs would just give in. I'd cramp too much. But what I love about it is that I get to come home Wednesday night, do 3 hours Thursday night, and then smash it out on Friday, on Saturday or whatever. And it's going to be hard. That event is designed so well because it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And most people could do it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, hang on the line now. We'll put the trailer in for you guys to get juicy, and keep your eye on our socials. If you're not on them already, it's just Bloody Mission Org on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Find your mountain, baby.
Find your mountain.
Booyah. Yeah, booyah.
Hey, it's Cal here from Bloody Mission. This year, Bloody Mission and the Leukemia Foundation have partnered up for something big. Let me explain. 5,000 metres of climbing. One purpose only, to raise money for Leukemia Foundation. They proved it could be done last year, and this year, we're challenging you. It's not just about the climb. Every dollar, every metre gained goes towards helping those 53 people a day that are climbing their own mountain with blood cancer. You don't need to be elite, you just need a reason. Find your mountain. This year, 5,000 metres, 5 days, $500. Find your mountain.
Do I have to say something inspirational here?
Yeah.
Suffering with the ability to recover is living life. Never forget that.
I love that.
And remember to follow, like, and share our content, as this really helps with growing the podcast. Cheers.